Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? Excellent, excellent. All right, we're going to get things started with a little bit of Canadiana to warm up this winter's night of ours here. It goes something like this. Burning low upon my tabletop. The snow is softly falling. The air is still in the silence of my room. I hear your voice softly calling. If I could only breathe a sigh or two, I would be happy just to hold the hands I love on this winter's night with you. Smoke is rising in the shadows overhead. My glass is almost empty. I read again between the lines upon each page, the words of love that you sent me. If I could only all that you will only do, I would be happy just to hold the hands I love on this winter's night with you. If I could only have you near, just to breathe a sigh or two, I would be happy just to hold the hands I love on this winter's night with you. On this winter's night, on this winter's night, on this winter night with you, Thank you. Thank you very much. It's great to be with you guys here tonight, and I'm going to play some songs that I've kind of written over the years, and some that other folks have written that relate to the season. This is one that actually I wrote that relates to this season, and this is a title track of a Christmas album that I released a few years ago called This Christmas, and it's all about, kind of drilling down to find the reason for the season in all the busyness and all the hectic shopping and everything that we do at this time of year. to keep coming back, and I know that's why you guys are here tonight, is to keep coming back to those core messages of the season. And this is called This Christmas. Well, we bundle up to face the storm and search for the love that will keep us warm through the darker days and colder nights this Christmas. As we all rush around from place to place, you can see the questions on each face. Is this all there is? Then what is this Christmas? Well, this is the timeless mystery that will not fade from our memory, that you are God with us, Emmanuel, this Christmas. In our lives of sorrow and regret, in every battle on the road ahead, still you have not left us alone this Christmas. Stand here uncomprehending. How great is this love you're sending? Could all this be true? All along you knew that we would need you to become all that we were hiding from. King of glory born into our human form to save us this Christmas. As I walk along these winter streets, and know that every stranger that I meet has been gathered up by your only Son this Christmas. Oh, you were born for everyone. How you made us your daughters and your sons, to bear us up and bring us home this Christmas. We stand here uncomprehended. How great is this love you're sending? Could all this be true? All along you knew that we would need you to become all that we were hiding from. The King of glory born into our human form to save us all this Christmas. And all along you knew that we would need you to become all that we were hiding from. King of glory born into our human form to save us this Christmas. Oh, come let us adore. Come let us adore him. Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. All right. Well, I want to do a song for you now that's is really all about it's all about sort of what happens, when people gather together to pray that heaven would come down, you know. And of course, that's what happened at Christmas time. And yet, it's what we kind of want to wish for every day throughout the year. And that's what the song's about. There's an old Stevie Wonder song, and Stevie Wonder is one of my favorite songwriters of all time, one of the great talents and national treasures of our lifetime, I think. And this is a song that he wrote that I'd love to get your help on here tonight. So I'm going to get you to get us started here, okay? Get you warmed up. I've heard this is a very rhythmic church. Is this true? We're about to find out. Okay, here we go. Ready? Just like this. Ready? Yeah, like that. Heaven help the child who never had a home. Heaven help the girl who walks the streets alone. Heaven help the roses if the palms begin to fall. Heaven help us all. Heaven help the poor man if he struggles one more day. Heaven help the rich man if he turns his back away. Heaven help the man who kicks the man who has to crawl. Heaven help us all. Heaven help us all. Heaven help us all. Heaven help us, Lord. Will you hear our call when we call? Heaven help us all. Yeah. Heaven help the boy who won't reach 21. Heaven help the man who gave that boy a gun. Heaven help the people with the backs against the wall. Oh, heaven help us all. Heaven help us all. Heaven help us all. Heaven help us, Lord. Will you hear our call when we call? Heaven help us all. Heaven help us. Now I lay me down before I go to sleep. In the troubled world, I pray the Lord my soul to keep. Keep hatred from the mighty and the mighty from the small. Heaven help us all. Heaven help us all. Oh, heaven help us all. Heaven help us, Lord. Will you hear our call when we call? Ooh, heaven help us all. And heaven help us all. Heaven help us, Lord. Will you hear our call when we call? Heaven help us all. Heaven help us all. All right, good job, everybody. They weren't wrong. Great job, excellent. All right. I want to do one of my, I'm not going to do like an all-night Christmas fast here tonight because I don't know if we're that close to Christmas here tonight. But I'm going to do a few anyways, and this is one that I really like from the canon of Christmas carols, and I think it's sort of uniquely tailored to fit the Canadian story, you know. So this is called In the Bleak Midwinter. So there you go. In the bleak midwinter, stormy winds made moan. Earth stood hot as iron, water like a stone. Snow had fallen, snow on snow, snow on snow on snow. In the bleak midwinter, long ago. What then can I give him, poor as I am? If I were a shepherd, I would bring a lamb. If I were a wise man, oh, I would do my part. Yet, what can I give him? Give my heart. Snow had fallen, snow, snow, oh, snow on snow on snow. In the bleak midwinter, long ago. So long ago. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, this is a song that I wrote with a friend of mine. A very snowy cabin out in the middle of nowhere in near Edmonton, Alberta, a couple years ago. And this is called Emmanuel. I'm amazed when I think about the way you came into this world. Not in glory, but hidden in the womb of an unmarried girl. No big parade, no banners high, just a lone star blinking in the night sky, just bright enough that a wise man would know where you were. Emmanuel, Emmanuel, you were born into darkness, the light of the world come to dwell. Emmanuel, Emmanuel, words aren't enough to tell you greater love. Emmanuel, a babe dressed in rags, not in robes, for it was all that your mother could lend. And you wore the same simple clothes when it came to the end. King over all, Lord of the earth, only you knew what it was worth when you gave everything so that we might come home again. Emmanuel, Emmanuel, you were born into darkness, the light of the world come to dwell. Emmanuel, Emmanuel, God is with us in the rubble and dust. Emmanuel, still the wars rage on, still the slave masters free, still your cradle draws a crowd, still we call your name out loud, and we watch and we wait with a holy anticipation that the God who is there would be here in our hearts once again. Emmanuel, Emmanuel, you were born into darkness, the light of the world come to dwell. Emmanuel, Emmanuel, never before have we needed you more. Emmanuel, never before have we needed you more. Emmanuel. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, guys. All right, so I want to play a song for you now that's I wrote for my wife, actually. And if you write songs, if you're a singer-songwriter and you're here tonight, you know that if you are married or dating someone, you have to write a song for that person at some point. It's right there in the singer-songwriter's handbook. You got to make sure you get that done. And so I worked on mine for a long time, just before I could kind of play it for her, get up the guts to play it for her, and because I wanted to sort of summarize something about our life, about our love, and about the grace that we walk in every day. Because we both of us came from failed romances, and it was one of those things where I wasn't sure if I was ever going to get another shot at love. And so when I met my wife Allison, who we've been married for going on 13 years, when I met her back in the day there, we instantly hit it off, and I knew that she'd been through a lot in her life before I'd met her, and so we just kind of found ways to kind of, and we've been doing it ever since, just kind of found ways to kind of almost shut the world out, when it was just the two of us. We kind of like in this little oasis of a space where, it can't be violated by other things. We kind of try to get into that space where we just remember the grace that we've both been given, and the admonition from scriptures to seize the day, to make today the appropriate day for all the good stuff. And so that's kind of what this is all about, this song. And it's just called Live a Little. Well, we began as things were ending, said our goodbyes to what was gone. We fell in love, not comprehending the journey we were on. Think of all the years before I met you. I can't account for all that time. I'll say it now before I forget to. I'm so grateful that you're mine. We both wear our share of scars. Some say they never fully heal. That's what keeps us real. Yesterdays. Tonight we're gonna leave all those cares behind and live a little. You've seen my light on after midnight. You've heard me stir at break of day. I look back someday in hindsight to say I worked my life away. If our days are heaven sent, if heaven truly can be found, can we find it now? Cause tonight we're gonna leave all those cares behind and live a little, yeah. My love, oh, look at all the stars above. They're burning off the last light they've got just to see if we can live a little. Heaven truly can be found, can we find it now? Let's find it now. 'Cause tonight we're gonna leave all those cares behind and live a little, yeah. My love, oh, look at all the stars above, 'cause they're burning off the last light they've got just to see if this love was all it's promised to be. Baby, this is our time to shine. Why don't we live a little? Thank you very much. Well, I want to share a little story with you today. I was sharing this story over lunch with some friends here today. They hadn't heard my wife and I, our kind of God story, you know. And for us, you know, when we got married, you know, my wife told me right away how many kids she wanted, you know, and what genders and all that stuff. She wanted to kind of, you know, sort of plan it out properly, you know, and you know, we thought that would happen sort of fairly soon, and then kind of years were going by, and all our friends were kind of calling us and letting us know that, you know, they were expecting, and everywhere we went, we saw babies and baby carriages, and it was tricky, you know, to kind of navigate those years, because we wanted to be hopeful for our chances of having a family, but all around us we just saw that everyone else was having a very easy time of it, and it just seemed like time was running out for us in a lot of ways, you know, kind of nearing our late 30s and kind of early 40s, and it was just it was tough. So we just weren't sure where this was going. Then we had this opportunity to go to El Salvador back in, I guess, about 10 years ago, July, with a group called Compassion. Anybody heard of Compassion Canada? Yeah? Awesome, yeah. It's a great organization that helps kids to be sponsored and to escape poverty, and it's a beautiful thing that they do for kids around the world. And so we knew we wanted to go on that trip, but we had just, before that trip, we had received some bad news that we were maybe, the doctors kind of sat us down and said, you know, this dream that you've had to have a family is probably not going to happen for you guys. And, you know, that was tough for me to hear, but it was really tough for my wife to hear at that time, because she had just really put all of her hopes in having these kids someday. And it was just more to add to the grief pile kind of thing. And we weren't sure at that point whether we would go on this trip to El Salvador or not, because we knew we'd run into lots of kids, and that would be a great thing on one hand, and the other hand, it would be, you know, tough to navigate that emotionally. And so I just felt strongly that we were supposed to go. You know, we weren't supposed to miss this one. So we got on a plane and we went down there for 7 days, and on the 7th day, we got to spend a whole day with our sponsored child, a little girl named Sarah, who was, 8 years old at that time, and was just newly sponsored through Compassion. And she was so delighted to meet us. She just ran over and gave us this big hug. And all through that day, we kind of had this kind of inkling that maybe, just maybe, there was some hope for us. There was some light at the end of the tunnel for our dream to someday have a family of our own. And so I wrote this song for my wife a few months before that and recorded it. It's a song called End of the Road. And it's all about waiting. And waiting is, a tough thing to do. We do it a lot, whether we're waiting in line at the at Service Ontario or at the doctor's office or whatever it is. You know, you sort of sit there waiting, and it feels like kind of, they call it, what do they call it? They call it inhuman time, right? So you see a lot of people on their phones kind of trying to kill the time. And, you know, there's only so many apps that can kind of get you through a, 5-year waiting period. Sometimes you just have to kind of, what we did was we just kind of opened our hands. We said, okay, we've been holding on to this dream for a long time. So maybe we're just supposed to let it go and see what happens. And it seems like when we did that the ground under us started to shift a bit. And this song came, and so I'd like to sing it for you tonight. For anybody who's waiting, it doesn't have to be for kids. Waiting for a job or waiting for healing. This is for all the waiters out there. It goes something like this. Every night she watches as another setting sun falls from the sky. And with it all her hopes are falling. Every dream she whispers to the night as she turns out the light. I will put my arms around. Softly I will speak her name. It's not the end of the road, my love. I believe we'll walk in the light. It's not the end of the road, my love. It's not like we haven't prayed, my love. We've been down on our knees every night, and heaven knows it's not the end of the road, my love. This world only loves you when it's all smiles and I'm doing fine. But when your broken heart is on your sleeve, it's when love leaves you far behind. Not every time, 'cause I won't let you sink down. Tell me everything you're feeling. It's not the end of the road, my love. I believe we'll walk in the light. It's not the end of the road, my love. It's not like we haven't prayed, my love. We've been down on our knees every night, and heaven knows, oh, it's not the end of the road now. You don't have to be strong now, darling. You don't have to dry your eyes, 'cause it ain't easy when you waited so long to keep this dream alive. It's not the end of the road, my love. It's not like we haven't prayed, my love. We've been down on our knees every night, and heaven knows, oh, it's not the end of the road now. It's not the end of the road. It's not the end of the road now. It's not the end of the road, my love. Yeah. That's a song called End of the Road. Thank you. So when we spent that day with Sarah, we felt like we finally had some clarity about where we're supposed to go and what we're supposed to do about growing our little family. And I don't know, something about that spending the day with her just felt like spending a day with your own child in a way, because she kind of felt like she had joined our family. And this is, of course, what happens when you sponsor a child through Compassion. It's It's almost like you're adopting them in a way. And so that word adoption kind of started bouncing around in my head. And, adoption is one of those themes that runs all through the scriptures. It's our story, really, that we have all been adopted into that first family of Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And I think in Galatians it says, when the right time came, God has sent his only Son to free us who were slaves to the law and to adopt us as his very own children. And so that was kind of run through our heads as we started this process of filling out forms and doing interviews and meeting with our social worker. And they made us take this 8-week-long course to learn how to become parents. Which I noticed nobody else has to take this course to become parents. Maybe we should, I don't know. We learned a lot, anyways, through that course. And one of the things we learned is that you could be waiting for a long time for a match through the Children's Aid, which was the direction that we decided to go. And so we thought it could be years, we're going to hang in there because we feel like we're finally on the right track. And so in April 2010, we got this phone call from the Children's Aid, and they said, okay, you guys sitting down, you got this little 18-month-old boy who was born to a teenage mom who couldn't take care of him. Would you like to meet this little guy and see if it's a match for you? And I remember getting off the phone and looking at the calendar and realizing it had been almost exactly 9 months since we started this journey, which was interesting. So we, maybe just a coincidence, but we just kind of decided we're going to follow through with this. We're going to go meet this little guy and see. And so we went up the mountain in Hamilton to this little house. And that's right, we have a mountain in Hamilton. I don't know if you knew that. It's really impressive. But they're right there in this little, tiny house, this big loving family in it. There in the picture window, there he was. This just a little mop of blonde curls, his big brown eyes. He's kind of waving back at us like this is his big day. Door opens, little hand grabs my hand, pulls me through the door. And as he does, I can sort of feel like this is a significant moment, me stepping across this threshold. And we meet this foster family, a wonderful Christian couple who have been taking him to church since he was born. And as we're there, we're sort of supposed to decide whether this was a match for us. So I'm just kind of looking around the room, and as I do, I notice that there's a little crib in the corner with a different baby in it. And I said, well, is that one of your children? And they said, actually, no, that's this little boy's brother, his younger brother, who's about 6 months old. He's not yet ready to be adopted yet, but if he is someday, maybe you guys can have a sibling group, And I was like, all right, we're moving fast here. This is exciting. I haven't even decided on the first one, but we're trying to figure out how to do this. I didn't know. I've never done this before, so I just kind of did what I knew to do. I got down on the floor in the living room, started playing with fire trucks with this little guy. And as I do, as I'm looking into his eyes, just thinking like, who's he gonna be, someday? And is this the right fit for us? And I'm out of the corner of my eye, I'm distracted because I see my name on the television screen in the living room, which was kind of odd because I just met these folks 5 minutes ago. So I asked them, I said, would you mind telling me, why is my name on your TV screen? And they said, I don't know. I said, well, we were listening to the satellite radio, so maybe they're playing one of your songs, through the radio. And I remember, asking them, would you mind turning up the volume on the television? Because they had this volume all the way down on the TV, which, I tried not to take it personally, so I... So I just asked them, I said, would you mind just turning up the volume to see what song that is? And as they did, the song that I just sang you came on the radio at that moment. A song that I'd specifically written, for about this moment, in a way. And in one moment, God answered all of the questions. Lord, are you there? Do you hear my prayer? Do you have the power to change my story? Do you love me enough to do that? all those kind of test prayers that we'd put to God. He'd finally acknowledged them in this one miraculous moment. And it was clear that he'd been busy. He'd been working behind the scenes all along. But we didn't know that, And as we looked at this little boy, we knew that this was the boy that we were supposed to bring home with us. And we would name him Gabriel. And we would adopt his foster family as our own extended family. And if possible, we would adopt his little brother, Simon, as well. And so in April 2010, we got, we finally brought him home. And on Mother's Day 2010, we celebrated in a big way and had the foster family over. And always through the years, we would pray for his brother Simon that he'd be able to come home. And finally, in 2011, late 2011, we finally got the call that Simon was ready to come home and join his big brother Gabriel. And so the two brothers were finally reunited at our house, which was pretty exciting. And it was right around then that we learned that they had a little sister as well. I was like, how far is this going exactly? I don't know if God knew, but I'm an independent singer-songwriter, you know what I'm saying? We can't do 19 kids and counting, but of course, if this little girl needed a soft place to land, it should be with us. It should be with her brothers. And so, 3.5 years later, or as my wife calls it, the longest pregnancy ever, little Amelia came home to join her two big brothers. And today, they're almost 8, 9, and 10, kind of the same kind of age. And it's a beautiful thing to see them all together. And I always say, whatever they think of us, they got each other, you know what I mean? But we have such an awesome life with them. And I share that story as just as a kind of a God story, and also as a really super long introduction to this song, which I'm going to play, and then I'm going to get off the stage and let you guys enjoy some of this incredible dessert over here. And then we're going to eat, and we're going to come back and do another short set at the end. But this is the song that I wrote for Sarah on the plane ride home. It goes something like this. Sarah, the day we came to meet you, just about as sweet as it gets. Little Sarah, standing in the rain, someone pinned your lovely name on your dress, yeah. Sarah, all throughout the day we would need no words to say what it meant. Oh, but Sarah, little did you know that your little smile was so heaven-sent. There were tears here, falling like the rain upon the dry ground. Just like a sleeping baby makes no sound. We were in the darkness with our heads down. Now, I don't know what the future holds. Ain't got no crystal ball. Maybe sunshine, maybe hard times. We'll never know it all. Maybe the sign we could not see has been there all along. But Sarah, you came along like a dream when our dream was gone. Sarah, before you came along, I had music for my song, but no words. Oh, but Sarah, you made me come alive with the sweetest voice that I've ever heard. Well, now the day breaks, I don't remember all the heartache. Now I know the difference that a day makes. Every time I see that picture of your face. Now I don't know what the future holds. Ain't got no crystal ball. Maybe sunshine, maybe hard times. We'll never know it all. Maybe the sign we could not see. It's been there all along. Sarah, you came along like a dream when our dream was gone. Falling like the rain upon a dry ground, just like a sleeping baby makes no sound. We were in the darkness with our heads down. With every year that passes by, we're drifting further from the shore. Do we wait it out, or should we bail out? We don't know anymore. All I know is now I see the right in all that's wrong. Sarah, you came along like a dream, but when it felt like our hearts might be coming apart at the seams, Sarah, you came along like a dream. Let me dream on, dream on, dream on, dream on, yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. I've got CDs over here on a little table by the sound booth. And if you're interested in taking out some music home tonight, check out the table for the little CDs. I also have a fancy-dancy little tiny guitar keychain, so you can take it home and say I play a little guitar. And then it comes apart, and it's a little USB stick. And it has every song that I've ever recorded on it, which is 11 albums worth of stuff. If you're interested in this, come and talk to me at the table as well. All right, welcome back, folks. We're going to get started with the second set. Now, if you know this song, I want you to join me, if you will. That'd be great. It came upon a midnight clear, that glorious song of old, from angels bending near the earth to touch his harps of gold. Peace on the earth, goodwill toward men, from heaven's own gracious King. The world in solemn stillness lay to hear the angels sing. Skies they come with peaceful wings unfurled, and still the heavenly music floats o'er all the weary world. Above its sad and lonely plain, a band on hovering wing, and Bible sounds, the blessed angels sing. For though the days are hastening on, by prophet bard foretold, when with the ever comes round the age of gold, when peace shall over all the earth its ancient splendors flame, and heaven over its Bible sounds, the blessed angels sing. singing, everybody. Why should my heart be discouraged? Well, why should the shadows come? Why should my heart be lonely and long for heaven and home? When Jesus is my portion, oh, a constant friend is He. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He's watching over me. Well, I sing because I'm happy. Well, I sing because I'm free. Oh, you know His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He's watching over me. Because I'm happy. Oh, I sing. Oh, because I'm free. Yeah, you know His eye is on the sparrow, and I know, oh, well, I know He's watching over me. All right, I want to sing a song for you now that's I wrote in Hamilton. How many people here have been to Hamilton? Whoa, look at all those hands going up. That's more hands I see when I ask that question in Hamilton. So yeah, we kind of get thought of as a bit of like the ugly kid brother, you know, in some ways. A lot of it's kind of the dumping ground of a lot of pollution and stuff. And but I moved there 25 years ago, and I'm pretty sure I have an extra chromosome as a result of it, but it's I don't know, it's a strange thing. So it's a fun place to grow up and to raise your kids, and I'm gonna play a song that I wrote on Hamilton Mountain, as I was referring to it earlier. It's a cool place. You can see your whole city down below laid out, you know. And not every city can you do that in. And on one of those particular occasions where I was looking at my city from above, I was with my wife at the time, and I was right on the edge of the cliff and looking over, and I could kind of feel that pit in the stomach feeling of just kind of like, whoa, I'm up high here, and I could fall. And I kind of like that feeling personally, I'm attracted to danger for some reason. My wife, a little bit less so. She's kind of not into danger at all, really, and so she was pretty nervous for me even being there. And I said, oh, come on, just join me on the edge. I'll hold you, we'll be all right. And she's like, nah, I can't do it. I said, okay, scared of heights, I get it. And she says, actually, no, I'm not scared of heights. I'm scared that if I get too close to the edge of a cliff or of a bridge or of like the edge of a rooftop or something, that I'm not going to be able to help myself. I'm just going to want to jump. I'm like, honey, are you okay? Are we okay? It's like, she's fine, we're fine. It's just a thing. And then maybe other people have it. Maybe there's someone here tonight that has that sort of irrational fear of inadvertently throwing yourself off a cliff. Anyone have that fear here tonight? I see that hand. Thank you, man. Thank you, sir. It's a thing, and I think it's called. Somebody told me that it has a name. It's called the Call of the Void, which is quite a name. But it's the Call of the Void. It's a thing, and I thought, well, there's a song in there somewhere. I go around my whole life looking for places to draw songs out of, and sometimes I just have to listen to the conversations of the people in my own family to get all the raw material that I need. And so this is a song that is all about, really, at its core, it's about longing for heaven. It's about longing for something that's just out of reach, but that we feel like we could touch in some way. And this is called The Great Beyond. And I'm going to do this thing in this song, as I've maybe done a few of the songs so far already, and I do a live looping thing. And if you're wondering what's going up up here, where's the other guitars coming from, it's all me. I'm just making it all with what I'm playing, and I'm recording it in real time on the stage, and then it could go horribly wrong. and it has before. But I'll record what I'm playing, and then I'll play something over top of that, and that's kind of how we do. So this is my little experiment called The Great Beyond. With your feet on the ledge, don't I feel like the edge of the universe? Looking down, now you get it, feel the spin in your head. It's like an insane urge to jump out of this skin, jump out of this skin. When you fall, would you feel it all? Would your feet touch ground? Would your soul take flight like you waited all your life to be outward bound? To see what no one sees, to touch the mystery. Hey, can you hear me now? Growing smaller in your window, 'cause something deep inside me leads me on, taking me to the great beyond. You hear the sound of the cars and you know where you are, where you've always been. In a world of space and time, don't you find that it pulls you in? When every day's the same, when every day's the same. Well, I always believed that there was something more, a piece of heaven that I never had an explanation for. 'Cause everything that is points to more than this. Hey, can you hear me now? I've been following the whisper that calls my name. I know that it's leading me on, where my own reflection is gone. But to the great I've been following the whisper that calls my name. I know that it's leading me on where my own reflection is gone, into the great beyond, to the great beyond. Thank you, we made it. All right. Looks like we made it. You ever mishear lyrics? I always thought the Barry Manilow song, "Look Like We Made It," I always thought it was looks like tomatoes. That's what I always thought it was. I got it all wrong, so there you go. It's all in my new book, Misheard Lyrics by Jacob Moon. Well, I'm going to play just a couple more songs for you guys here tonight, and this is one that I want to dedicate to all the children that are served by Compassion Canada around the world. On Wednesday of this coming week, it's the International Day of the Child, and so I think that's an appropriate thing for me to play this next song, which is it's a song by a Christian artist named Lauren Daigle, who's been kind of doing great things lately. And I just love the way she writes songs and the way she sings. And so I want to kind of try this one out here tonight. I haven't played it a whole lot yet, but it's not too tricky to sing or to play, really. It's something that you guys can join me on as well tonight if you know the song. And it goes something like this. Where are you now when darkness seems to win? Where are you now when the world is crumbling? Oh, I hear you say, look up, child. Look up, child. Where are you now? When all I feel is doubt. Where are you now? When I can't figure it out. Oh, I hear you say, I hear you say, look up, child. Look up, child. Look up, child. Hey, hey. Look up, child. Hey, hey. You're not threatened by the war. You're not shaken by the storm. I know you're in control. Even in our suffering, even when you can't be seen, I know you're in control. Oh, I hear you say, I hear you say, look up, child. Child, hey, hey, look up, 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 child. That's a new one called Look Up, Child. New to me, anyways. Thank you very much. Well, I just want to play a couple more songs for you guys here tonight. This is a song that I wrote on the 401 while I was stuck in traffic. Late one night. I had nothing to do. I had to write a song because I was just fully stopped. You know, it's like when it says 100 kilometers an hour, and you realize, you look at your speedometer, it's 0, and you can look out your window and you can see gum on the asphalt. That's how slow you're moving. Then you just have to kind of think of something to do. And for me, it's either books on tape, which I love, audio books. For that drive home, I recommend War and Peace. It's an excellent selection. It's just the right length. And I also recommend if you can write a song, while you're driving. Rick Rubin, famous producer, always said, if you're gonna write a song, it's good to do it while you're in the shower or while you're driving, because you can write a song or you can edit a song, but you can't do both while you're driving. And so it's good to just kind of do, just dump it all out there. And so this is kind of one of those tunes that kind of came to me. And it's got a bit of a gospel vibe to it. And so I actually employed the services of some gospel singers that I know in Hamilton. And they just added so much beautiful soul to the track. But I know that this is a soulful place as well, Innisfil. And well, let's not get carried away. Maybe not, but we're at least we're musical. We're excited. We're excited to be here tonight. We're excited to hear some music, some Christmas music. But maybe, just maybe, if there isn't already, maybe we can form the Innisfil Gospel Choir right here, right now. What do you think? You think we can do it? Okay. Well, we're gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna play. Actually, I'm gonna play the part. I'm gonna sing the part that I'm gonna ask you guys to sing tonight. It's very simple, just one line, no harmonies, just straight up. It goes like this. It goes, Nobody else, nobody else. That's all it is. Want to try it? Sing it out. Sing. Nobody else, nobody else. Yeah. Nobody else. Sing. Nobody. Hey. The song's called Just Like You. Goes something like this. Weak get weaker, strong stay strong. All of the rest just try to carry on. Sure could use some hope in this life, some kind of relief from the endless fight. Every now and again I think I see your face, and the weak and the loving, the way they show your grace. It's then that I understand. Oh, you came to bring your love to every woman, child, and man. And it's just like you to bring light to my darkness. Just like you to be there when I need you, and all you do, you bring glory to the Father. I wanna be just like you, yeah. I've been searching just to satisfy my soul, restless and lonely and out of control. When I fell to my knees, I finally found the missing piece. Come on, sing with me. Singing, nobody else can save my weary soul. Sing. Hey, no one like you, Lord. I look high and I look low. Nobody else, nobody else. No one like you. There's nobody just like you to bring light to my darkness. Just like you to be there when I need you, and all you do, you bring glory to the Father. I wanna be just like you. Hey, not nobody else. Save my weary soul. Nobody else, nobody. No one like you. Oh, no, nobody. I look high, I look low. Nobody else, nobody else. No one like you. No one like you, Lord. No one like you. There's nobody just like you to bring light to my darkness. Just like you to be there when I need you, and all you do, you bring glory to the Father. And I wanna be just like you. Singing out, nobody else, nobody else. I wanna be nobody else, nobody else. Sing it out, nobody else. Oh, 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 singing just like you. I sing just like you. I sing just like you. Oh. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. God bless you.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Anyways, thanks for being here tonight. That's an amazing way to start off our Christmas season. Now, when we had our concert last year, it wasn't snowy outside yet, and so we really needed to get into the Christmas spirit. There is snow for now, and so made it a little bit easier. But Jacob, thank you so much. Just a quick thank you also to Rosalind. Okay, Rosalind, thank you so much for all your work to get these wonderful desserts prepared for us. And Merry Christmas, everybody. It sounds weird saying that in November, but it's getting close. And if we can help you in your Christmas celebrations this year, by all means, you know where we are now. And we have some Christmas things happening, Christmas Eve, etc. And you are more than welcome to come. But just before we leave, I'm hoping maybe if we show our appreciation to Jacob, then he might do one more for us. Okay? So then, Jacob, thank you so much for making the trek down from Hamilton, from the mountain, for being here with us tonight. And after Jacob is done, then you are dismissed, and just have a wonderful evening. And hopefully we will see you soon. Thank you.
All right. Well, that's all the songs I know, but I'll start again from the top, I guess, and we'll just... all right, so you guys have option A and option B. It's like a choose your own adventure book. So you can either hear a final Christmas song, or you can hear a song, a final kind of a jubilant, fast song about Africa. What's this? We're taking both. All right, I didn't get a unanimous decision there. I think we may have to go to a paper ballot at some point. What do we think? Africa. Oh, that's okay. Africa. Yeah, that works for me. All right. Well, this one I would dedicate this one to my sponsor child in Africa, Dawit in Ethiopia, and I hope to get there someday. There's some talk of going to Rwanda next year in 2020, and that would be a lot of fun for me to get to visit finally this place that I've been dreaming about for a long time. This is an old song that my mom used to play around the house. She had great musical taste, and she always, turned me on to good music like Simon and Garfunkel and Gordon Lightfoot and all that good stuff. So this is dedicated to my mom too, something like this. Joseph's face was black as night, and the pale yellow moon shone in his eyes. His path was marked by the stars on the southern hemisphere, and he walked the length of his days under African skies. This is the story of how we begin to remember. This is the powerful pulsing of love in the veins. After the dream of falling and calling your name out, these are the roots of rhythm, the roots of rhythm remain. Vision music was ringing around my nursery door. I said, take this child from Tucson, Arizona. Give her the wings to fly, in harmony she won't bother you no more. This is the story of how we begin to remember. This is the powerful pulsing of love in the veins. After the calling your name out. These are the roots of rhythm, the roots of rhythm remain. Ba, 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 oh. Sing ba, 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 oh. Sing it with me now, come on. Sing ba, 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 oh. Ba, ba, oh. Sing ba, 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 oh. Joseph's face was black as night, and the pale yellow moon shone in his eyes. Well, now his path was marked by the stars on the southern hemisphere. He walked the length of his days. Walked the length of his days. He walked the length of his days under African skies. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sing ba, 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 oh. Ba, 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 oh. Ba, 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 oh, na. Thank you. Thank you very much.